Once upon a time, a very poor woodcutter lived in a tiny cottage in the forest with his two children, Hansel and Gretel.
His second wife often ill-treated the children and was forever nagging the woodcutter.
There is not enough food in this house for all of us. There are too many mouths to feed. We must get rid of the two brats.
She kept on trying to persuade her husband to abandon his children in the forest.
Take them miles from home, so far that they can never find their way back. Maybe someone will find them and give them a home.
The downcast woodcutter didn't know what to do. Hansel, who once heard one evening, had overheard his parents' conversation and told Gretel.
Don't worry, if they do leave us in the forest, we'll find the way home.
Wicked stepmother kept Hansel and Gretel under lock and key all day with nothing for supper but a sip of water and some hard bread.
All night, the husband and the wife quarrelled, and when dawn came, the woodcutter led the children out into the forest.
Hansel, however, had not eaten his bread, and as he walked through the trees, he left a trail of crumbs behind him to mark the way.
But the little boy had forgotten about the hungry birds that lived in the forest. They flew along behind and in no time at all had eaten all the crumbs.
With a lame excuse, the woodcutter left his two children by themselves.
Hansel whispered to Gretel,
I've left a trail.
but when night fell, they saw to their horror that all the crumbs had gone.
I'm frightened, I'm cold, and I'm hungry, and I want to go home,
wept Gretel bitterly. Hansel tried to encourage his sister, but he too shivered when he glimpsed frightening shadows and evil eyes around them in the darkness.
Don't be afraid, I'm here to look after you.
All night the two children huddled together for warmth at the foot of a large tree.
When dawn broke, they started to wander about the forest seeking a path, but all hope soon faded. They were well and truly lost.
On they walked and walked, till suddenly they came upon a strange cottage in the middle of a glade.
This is chocolate,
said Hansel as he broke a lump of plaster from the wall.
and this is icing.
Exclaimed Gretel, putting another piece of the wall in her mouth. Starving but delighted, the children began to eat pieces of the candy broken off the cottage.
Isn't this delicious?
Said Gretel with her mouth full. She had never tasted anything so nice.
We'll stay here,
Hansel declared, munching a bit of nougat.
They were just about to try a piece of the biscuit door when it quietly swung open.
Come in, come in, come in. You have nothing to fear, and haven't you children a sweet tooth? Unluckily for Hansel and Gretel, however, the sugar candy cottage belonged to an old witch, her trap for catching unwary victims. You're nothing but skin and bones. I shall fatten you up and eat you,
Said the witch, locking Hansel into a cage.
You can do housework. Then I'll make a meal of you too.
She told Gretel grimly.
As luck would have it, the witch had very bad eyesight, and when Gretel smeared butter on her glasses, she could see even less. Let me feel your finger, said the witch to Hansel every day to check if he was getting any fatter. Now Gretel had brought her brother a chicken bone, and when the witch went to touch his finger, Hansel held out the bone. You're still much too thin. When will you become plump?
One day the witch grew tired of waiting.
Light the oven. We're going to have a tasty roasted boy today,
She told Gretel. Gretel returned whimpering.
Useless child. All right, I'll see for myself.
But when the witch bent down to peer inside the oven and check the heat, Gretel gave her a tremendous push and slammed the oven door shut. The witch had come to a fit and a proper end.
The witch is now burnt to a cinder.
They stayed for several days to eat some more of the house, until they discovered a basket of coins.
So we'll take this treasure with us,
said Hansel. They filled a large basket with food and set off into the forest to search for a new home.